I think it's their ability to fight. It's actually the strength of the something they're really good at. The versions is very well myself. I think this is one of the versions that the CS that has been best for just because they love fighting for that. If we get into later on this, they play the line parts, I think that's the weakness. More difficult than right now. The positive score.
Here's the see what the teams have to each other. So something down the line is well. Empire, are you going to have solid team compared to the comes to the after that game? I mean, I guess that's the worry, isn't it?
How do you think Marks are smarter? If you take chances, now
they're actually I don't think it's too worried about how I see this. Yes, I'm starting I mean, I don't know what just now I'm told I know that if you use the very early not who for the baby. Anyway, thanks.
This to me is actually crazy.
Vega.
Yeah,
it's good.
It's actually extremely good again.
Vega Squadron turn to ban.
Be pretty good.
Team Empire's turn to ban.
Yeah, Vega.
10 seconds remaining.
Would you say that
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
It's not like a hero. It's also good against us, so that's just kind of thing. Very telegraphic, countering the tornado, nice, definitely last so many.
Vega Squadron.
No matter which way we go, it's actually good.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
This time it's a main though, like this one of the best I've had for us.
Night Stalker.
Team
I think it's the best thing here. It was the best thing. I saw
this is a
seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
I still want to fight. The heroes.
League's assassin.
Vega Squadron's turn to pick.
Nyx. Your favorite.
I like it.
Huh?
Yeah, you gotta get it's also the secondary is gonna get nice on there. But now that you can cast Slight Therapist in the meta, you can run under an infrastructure target, unnamed and hit after. You know, that's exactly the same with Dark Saber. So it's good against both heroes.
10 seconds remaining.
And maybe a important word.
That's going to be the
5 seconds remaining.
Now that Nixon's and Dead is so much better on level 1, maybe you can actually try to run it. But it's like,
'Team Empire's turn to pick.
they're very few heroes that are doing this next.
10 seconds remaining.
Hello everyone.
As Aloha dance? Yeah.
5 seconds remaining.
I'm your host Richard Lewis.
Siemens Sala. Okay.
And now the simplest thing is making something I've always wanted to do. Never got the boy here, Maniac, who was throwing his hand to the ring of analysts that John Brashford was there. So, and before we even get into looking at the game, this is going to be TSM versus England. How are you doing in analysis of business?
Difficult stages there, like six.
Whoa.
There's a lot of people going on. I don't know, like, have to stay connected with people, but just because you're not glad, you're like watching the games, trying to make a point, but it's, your first very nice transfer, it's nice.
Well, you did very well.
So you can check on, like, my I don't really think
And you managed to avoid getting missed the point. As opposed to what we could hit, and I'm kidding, we don't do that. It's not a fun show. So anyway, what we're going to talk about now is we're going to talk about TSM versus Team Liquid. This is a game that I'm really excited about. Because Team Liquid had a little wobble, it sounds like a Steve up, looking very good. England, is going to start still a very good. Meanwhile, TSM, they're having this weird sort of crisis of confidence that they seem to be able to punch at the level they should be. And on top of that, lots of stuff going on behind the scenes with the organisation. We've had a report with multiple organisations at the moment. Got to be very distracting. So, there's some people on the test. You may start. Tell us about this organisation.
well, this is very amazing. I am obviously without all those facts are being here. Everyone knows that. So I think they're good something that is all, even though it's not here. And losing Slavi with a lot of things so I guess it's pretty okay right now, but we're living like on the other hand, you got TSM. Everyone is talking about having crisis or not really saying that it's the whole thing, like, it's the beginning of the tournament. Usually they have a problem with that game. They have swing stars. So I think the best one is actually in favor of the TSM. I think they have to hope that TSM doesn't reach their peak. Because I think peak people can do it against TSM.
Well, not many teams can. Guys, your thoughts about this matchup? I think Team Liquid are underdogs, but they're in the ascendancy at the moment. They seem to be doing a bit more. How highly do you rate their chances against Vega?
Even though we're talking right now, I would say that but still, if they get another player now, it's different. They just
God knows whatever it is.
yeah.
Train instead of bubble. Yes. I have no idea what they're like. Well, given their record, running and then I think the better it seems like they had a lot of time for the power to try to follow it. I mean, I'm supposed to play this now because big strat, big game plan, let's do this. I was really surprised by that. I think that I also show like the main weakness is a big amount of them being their map. So running that's map. Yeah, I guess the game against Ireland must be the run to 7. Yeah, they close out that game. Yeah, but it has a thing before that, where they feel sick at that point.
So what's most important to look at for you?
Winners mentality in order to compete with these tier 1 teams. They saw even time and time again they can come back and beat them.
Team Empire versus Vega with our commentators on Pixel Front.
They bounce back strong and
Indeed, thank you very much. I'm OD Pixel, and I'm here, of course, with Dreskel, and we're ready to take you into the first series here at LAN between Team Empire and Vega Squadron. We've heard what the panel had thought. Andy, the anti-mage, questions were asked. You look at the side of Vega, they've got a lot of heroes to deal with that hero in the laning stage. Is it going to be the hero for Empire this game?
I don't know, I mean, I always like to see Nyx because he's a hero that I personally like a lot, but I think the panel summed it up quite nicely, especially what Peter was saying in regards to Nyx as an offlaner has a really hard time getting a lot, and I think that Empire's lineup needs something that is very disruptive to the laning phase, as Inner was also saying. So I think between No Fear and Aloha Dance, they're going to have to do a tremendous amount of work in this early game to make sure that Empire can kind of, hold Vega back for a little while, because during the mid game, a Luna push with an early mech and a Darkseer, that's going to be terrifying for Empire when they have that AM who's going to take, quite a while to get off the ground.
Okay, I mean, talking about resolutions, Invoker, they mentioned the fact Quaswex, you're looking to remove some of the buffs on some of the heroes from Vega, like the Flame Guard, like the Surge, but at the same time, is there potential we could see Quas Exhort? You look at the setup for stuff like the Sunstrike, you've got a Bane, you're going to have a Nyx moving around the map. There's a lot of setup if you want to just delete some of the heroes on Vega.
I do like the Exort idea. It's always nice to have Tornado to be able to dispel things like Flame Guard and Surge, but you kind of need damage, right? Because if you're going to be playing 4 versus 5, a Quaswex Invoker would serve the role of, okay, I Tornado EMP, I hit like 2 or 3 heroes, they run out of mana, potentially that stops the push. That could be one way.
Yeah.
The other one is just have double Forged Spirits with Cold Snap and an Alacrity, and then hope that you can deal enough damage in that time to make Vega fall back that way. So you have a couple of ways to deal with it. I think the Sunstrike idea is nice, because potentially you have a Nightmare into a Light Strike array, into a Sunstrike.
And that's the kill.
Yeah,
I mean, some of the space like Luna, incredibly squishy.
It's a fair amount of damage, but we'll see what he does. For now, he skills level 1 Quas, so leaning more towards Quaswex. Most Exort Invokers wouldn't start this way.
Okay, and of course, we didn't really mention it, but it kind of goes without saying, the synergy between the EMP and the Anti-Mage.
Right. That's always going to be great to get heroes like Darkseer low on mana, especially during the mid game. He has a gigantic mana pool. Once AM's level 11, that's when your mana void really starts to hurt if you kind of stay around too long and try to push that high ground.
Okay, I mean, talking about the mid lane, we saw at the start Bane did head down here, but looks like he's going to turn his attention towards top. A bit of aggression here as Mag just training hits there with Silent. Look at the Light Strike here onto the Darkseer. Mag has got the backup here of Solo on his Night Stalker as they double iron shells themselves up, and there's going to be Bane heading up there as well, so leaving Resolution on his own in the mid lane. So this Invoker versus Ember Spirit matchup, I mean, should this be a hard lane for Resolution?
Well, it's kind of skill dependent, I feel. Quaswex has a harder time than Exort. Once you get Tornado, you can always dispel Flame Guard, but it costs quite a bit of mana to be throwing that out
bottom lane.
so often. Yeah,
Funix is taking a heavy bit of damage, and that's going to be your first blood there. He tried to pop the Self, wasn't going to save him. And first blood there to Pasha on the Luna. I mean, Vega, they couldn't have kind of hoped for a better start than that.
I'm not really sure how you let yourself die at level 1, actually, as Nyx. I mean, Disruptor is one of those heroes that's very good at zoning offlaners. Yeah, Wepa showing that he skilled mana burn at level 1 and didn't have carapace or stun. So
look at this wraparound Resolution. I don't think he was ready for this one. They get the Searing Chains out, and now with Solar blocking him off as well. Resolution's trying to get himself back to safety, but Night Stalker's there with the body blocks. He'll turn around with a cold snap, forcing the Night Stalker away. So Resolution will be fine. But taking a fair bit of harassment there from the rotation, and oh, hang on, he's going to pop the tornado. Can't quite get himself in for the last touch there, no one. So Resolution only just surviving here, Andy.
Yeah, it's still nice though. It pulls a little bit of focus away from the top lane, lets Silent get some farm on, and if Mag's up here on his own, he's not really going to be able to do a whole heck of a lot as it stands right now, but for Funnick, he really needs to try to find a way to get some EXP, because as a Nyx player, you kind of need like level 7 in Arcanes minimum.
I mean, we can see top lane, Mag is still managing to find the levels. We're going to see Lina come up as well. Of course, Aloha Dance hanging around with no fear. I mean, that combo is very, very potent. Darkseer's got to be very careful how far it comes out. The CS on both of your position ones at the moment, pretty even across the map. 13 for 4 on your Luna and 13 for 3 on the Anti-Mage. So no one really falling behind in terms of farm.
Well, if we're considering just straight up farm rates, you always have to favor Vega for overall CS for the early game, because the Luna is going to be pushing with the team, right? And the AM is going to be off on his own, trying to split farm, make sure that Vega have to always react to what he's doing. So Vega hit their timing much sooner than Empire's lineup. The more farm that Pasha gets, the more tanky he becomes. You know, he goes for like early Manta or, you know, SOI even. Some Luna players like to do that. And they're going to be fighting around their mech on Mag too, so...
Now, what I kind of like that's going on down here, we were talking about Funnick earlier, obviously gave away an unfortunate first blood, but we're seeing already just the harassment with the mana burn onto the Disruptor, making sure he never has the mana there for the Glimpse combo, which at this point probably is going to be the thing that would catch out that Nyx Assassin.
Yeah, Disruptor is infamous for being able to kill any offlaner, really. If you're out of position, you get caught out into a field after a glimpse, you're pretty much dead to rights, especially with a Luna, because you deal so much extra damage with that Lunar Blessing, and Lucent Beam hits quite hard on top of that. But middle lane's actually not going too bad for Resolution, so that's great for Empire. If the supports can't get anything done, then the Invoker is the next person on the team that you're looking to try to do something, because Nyx not really able to do
Funny, he's been found out here. We'll turn him over from a nice impale onto 2, but the kinetic field's already out and he's stuck in it. Solo Stein's hit away. The Carapace will hold him back for a little bit of time, but there's your second void. They're moving in onto the Nyx Assassin, fairly tanky. Has he got enough for, he's got 2 charges. He should have enough here for another void, but the stun coming out. Can't quite get the vision though, as Resolution will rotate round and force back the Night Stalker. So we'll do force Funnick back out the lane, but not quite able to get that kill.
Forcing him back is good enough, and they got the double pulls going on, so Disruptor is going to be getting himself some experience and haste here on Aloha Dance. Maybe want to go.
Hello, Tornado into the light strike, looking for no one. He'll get the flame guard out, holding back Resolution there with the chains, and now Solo's coming in for the backup. We'll try and stop them from chasing it down. The South comes out in time, and Ember, he will be able to heal himself back up. So again, nice rotation there from Solo, just stopping the side of Empire going too aggressive on the Ember Spirit.
I really like the fact that they're at least pressuring at this stage in the game. Like, giving Resolution a little bit of relief. He already has phase boots at under 5 minutes, which is fantastic. And that means that as soon as you get phase boots on Invoker who doesn't go Alacrity early, you've at least secured your ability to be able to farm. Because sometimes, like, obviously Invoker's early game base damage is really low, so now that he has the early phase up and he's going to start getting some points into Wex, he can even look to TP counter gank. Plus Wex Invoker is amazing for that, so I'm looking to see Resolution start to move around a bit sooner.
Okay, top lane Max, halfway through level 3 at the moment. Needs to be a bit careful because there's a wraparound, and now with the Lina here as well, he could be in trouble. There's your Nightmare to set it up. They've got the light strike down, Brain Stab coming through. Can they quite bring down Mag? He's fairly tanky, not tanky enough. They get the kill. Lina's in a bit of trouble though. They'll try and chase it, but no! Solo can't quite get it. The Dukes are there. Lina's going to survive, and Solo won't be able to find a kill in return, so it is just Empire picking up the kill on Mag on that top lane.
I think he might have assumed his auto attack was going to kill there. Instead, it didn't actually do enough damage, and he ends up getting forced away. Bottom lane, we can see Funnick still kind of struggling here. But the nice thing about this is that even though Luna has ridiculous night vision, at least he's in experience range now. Like, he can walk up to the creep wave and soak. This hero needs level 6 very, very badly. And up until this point, he's only gotten himself 2 CS. You compare that to Mag, who's sitting at 18 right now. You can definitely tell that in the war of the offlaners, Vega is clearly coming out ahead.
Yeah, well, I think other than that, elsewhere across the map, the fact that Resolution still doing very well in the mid lane, 33 for 9 against the 20 for 1 on no one, and the fact that you look at the 2 position ones, and they're pretty much still sitting neck and neck. it is obviously worth noting there's a lot of denying being done by this Luna, which is obviously affecting Funnick here on this bottom lane. But the fact that the two offlaners, similar level, both died the same amount of times, just the 2 casualties for either side. It feels fairly close to the moment, still 6 minutes in this one.
The one thing, too, to keep in mind, if we're on the subject of offlaners, is that Funnick can never jungle, right? Like, Nyx is just not that hero. Yeah. Whereas Mag, if he feels like he's not getting anything from his lane, he can do what he's doing now, which is just retreat, get a little bit of free farm. You know Empire can't pressure your jungle. It's, like, with their heroes, it's not really good for them to do, because they need somebody to either be protecting the AM or sitting around mid, like, because it's nighttime, so Night Stalker could be moving around, and you need to make sure there's backup for resolution just in case.
I mean, Resolution at the moment still, he is still sitting in that mid lane, and has got Earner's Shadows, which will be coming out very, very shortly.
Yeah.
So maybe when obviously that's picked up, we'll start to see him be a little bit more active and start to try and make things happen across the map. Talking about making things happen, you've got a Night Stalker here sitting on the side of the mid lane, solo. Just seeing if he could get a look in. Resolution does have the backup and no fear, pretty much prepared for any kind of movement that this Night Stalker may look for.
I'm really waiting to see, like, the Night Stalker Ember combo is incredibly strong. If Resolution was ever left alone and you have a Dust, like, you can easily kill Invoker in that situation.
Oh, I mean, they might try and go for this here. They've got the Nightmare. AMP is coming out with it. Oh, he takes it off with the illusion.
Very good.
Very, very, very neatly done there by Noah.
And that EMP hits, yeah, actually, I think it might
have
been a kill.
He's going back in. He wants the kill himself. Zero Chase, Remnant's forward. The Tornado's there. Won't quite be able to find the killer now. He might be in trouble. They'll put the Nightmare out. Resolution, has he got anything? No. Invoke's still on cooldown for 2 seconds.
He cold snap.
It's a little bit slow.
Well, they didn't have vision, so they might have assumed that somebody from Vega could have reacted in that time.
Oh, Light Strike. Is it going to catch solo? He jukes it out. I mean, we are seeing a lot of action attempted, but I mean, for a game that you'd expect to see between these two aggressive sides, 1-1 on the scoreboard 8 minutes in, that's a bit of a turn up, Matt.
Resolution gets his hands on a nice little rune here. Maybe going to go for a tower dive.
Let's see if they can find this. It would be nice. Solo's out of mana and he may be out of luck as well. There's the Tornado to set it up. Silent moving in and Solo will pop the charges. There's a Mana Void to the face. And a kill picked up there for the Anti-Mage. So Empire, you're going to be very grateful for that rotation with the Invoker. And it is exactly as you said. You know, he gets that first time the urn and he starts to make those movements.
Well, the other thing too is he gets those urn charges, which are great, because now, good luck sending him back to base. Like, Quaswex Invoker is already difficult to harass out of lane unless you just straight up kill him. So now Resolution is going to have, like, full efficiency in lane. He'll never have to go back. He'll have a TP ready, just in case they want to go for, like, a potential dive onto No Fear, who's soaking a little bit of the EXP here bottom lane. But I think Empire actually doing a very good job at holding on in this early game.
And the Anti-Mage is going to get scarier and scarier. Sitting top of the net worth at the moment. Still very much, you know, on the same level as this Luna. But obviously, when we see that Battle of Fury come online, I guess you would imagine, unless obviously Vega start to push, you know,
right.
This Luna's going to be able to take towers. The Anti-Mage is going to be able to take a lot of farm from his jungle, though, and at a rate that's going to be a little bit quicker than the Luna with that Battle of Fury.
Vega's catch is also fairly limited for the Anti-Mage. Like, you're going to need Night Stalker vision a lot of the time, like pop ulti, go for maybe a smoke on him. That's one way to catch him out. But otherwise, you're looking
No Fear. He's caught between Solo and Mag. Mag's actually going to drop the wall, and No Fear says, I'm just going to TP out. You've already used the Void.
Nice.
All right. A bit of a messy play there. And, well, Empire will take advantage of it.
Yeah, really good stuff, but as far as the AM goes, again, like, Darkseer can't really pressure AM during mid-game, Luna can't either, it's more about the 5-man.
Oh, hello, no one, he wants to go for this one here, he's not going to be able to cancel this TP.
Teleport scroll's good item.
It is, it's working out for Empire so far. 2 down in the last 20 seconds and 2 lives have been saved. And now Silent's going to have a bit more of a tricky time dealing with this if no one decides to sit up here on this Ember Spirit. He's going to have to be a bit more careful. Mid lane, well, Solo's out of mana. Resolution moving in with the cold snap. Can he get himself the kill? One more will do it. Flies through with the charges. The Honor Shadows brings him down to 15 HP. Not quite enough to get the kill. And Night Stalker just barely living by the skin of his teeth.
It's actually really good for Empire that people keep trying to come mid, because Resolution is one of those heroes that doesn't really have to go back to base too much. So they send a support back from Vega, and that's just more room for Silent to continue his farm. Not to mention the nice regen that is going to be down here.
Now let's see what they can do with this one, Empire. Heading towards the bottom lane, it is just Pasha on his own. This will be a lovely one to dive on. And I'm probably aware that these heroes are off the map, but they might not be aware that the Nyx is looking for some action as well, because they'll see he's still not yet level 6 here, Funnick.
He's had a really rough lane. Like,
Oh,
really
the smoke on smoke here. Who's going to make the jump? Well, they're going to see each other here. Kinetic field gets dropped. There's going to be Thunder Strike. Here's no one. Onto 2 with a change. Light Strike comes out, but it doesn't matter. It's a double kill for the Ember Spirit. As a very nice smoke in reaction to Empire smoke. And as we were saying, it was a 3-man smoke from Empire. And I reckon Vega just realized something was up. Something was going down across the map.
Yeah, there is a ward between the tier 1 and the tier 2.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, probably caught it.
Yeah, just seeing that one coming is very good for Vega. It means they can start to pressure this bottom lane. Offlane tier 1 actually still alive. Very late actually for a Luna lineup.
Funnick's got his. Is he going to go for the courier? Oh, he is, but it was delivered in time. The drums are out now. Funnick might pay off his life. Gets the carapace out. There's a wall drop. And his resolution with the tornado. EMP will connect onto Mag, trying to chase down the Darkseid, but the Surge is there. He's out of that one. In comes Luna now with the ultimate. Pash has found one with the help of the gang. He's looking for more. They're trying to get resolution. He's trying to get himself in the trees, but the glimpse back's there. They'll get themselves a second kill, Vega, and 5 for 2 on the board. And it's going from better to better for this side as they'll look to take the tier 1 as well.
It was a bit of an execution error there because Funnick stunned at pretty much the same time that Tornado came up from resolution, so instead of having like 2 forms of lockdown, they pretty much missed out on 1. And as soon as Funnick vendettas that courier, like normally you say, I'm going to use my ulti on the courier, and then you just don't fight, right? Because they have clearly everyone in the area. You just lost 2 of your heroes to a smoke. So you should know that Vega are there in force. I think contesting that tower in the first place was a little bit optimistic from Empire, realizing obviously Silent's not going to be TPing to fights like that.
Yeah. I've got to be honest though, you're looking at this anti-mage, he's going to have a pretty damn good timing on this Battle Fury on top of Treads in about 13 minutes.
Yeah, he's farming like a beast. He's got 2 kills. So he actually has Empire's kills in general, like all of them. So the fact that he's off to a fantastic start gives Empire a little bit of glimmer of hope here. But the big timing for Vega's now coming out. Mech is finished on the Darkseer, which means that we're going to be looking to see Vega just do the full 5-man. Like this lineup in like Force is very hard to deal with, so now we're looking to Resolution and Funnick to be like, okay, how much can you disrupt this? Can you land good Tornado EMPs? Because as it stands right now, I don't think anyone on the side of Vega actually has Arcanes yet, no. The Disruptor doesn't have them, and neither does Mag. So being able to drain the mana of Vega's 5-man, that makes it really hard for them to fully commit to a push at this point, considering the Luna and the Nyx are now, or excuse me, Lina and Nyx are now 6.
And we're going to see as well, Silent, he's halfway through level 10. I mean, once he's got level 11, I'd love to see a TP on him just so he can kind of join these fights and turn around these pushes. If he sees an opening for a Mana Void,
yeah.
I mean, one big fight like that and suddenly Vega are going to be in a very tricky position. They'll pop the dust there, see if they can find anyone. Silent's actually just chilling in the tree line.
Well, he knows they're there because he get hit by dust, so there's no reason for him to leave the tree line right now.
Absolutely. Funnick's actually going to come in and he takes away the bounty ring. He takes that from Solar. Let's just get the steal. A bit of a push going on in the mid lane now. No one leading the way. Here's the backup. Solo and Mag turning up. Lina has got that Laguna Blade. If Empire are able to turn this, and Funnick's moving in. They do have this sentry down though, Vega, so they are aware. And Empire just hanging on the high ground here, waiting for the opportune moment to jump, and no one's actually going to be the one to do it. Moves here, but there's your Tornado EMP. Remnant's forward, in fact, no one. He could be in trouble. Nofit will blind himself. What the heck? The Laguna didn't even hit. Nofit's got to get himself out, but he's already down. They'll try and get resolution here as well, and here's the ultimate from the Luna. They found themselves a second kill. And again, pretty much a repeat of what they did on the bottom lane. They come in there with the Eclipse, and they'll take themselves to tier 1.
Yeah, again, the 5-man from Vega is monstrous, and props to no one for the aggressive Remnant there, just realizing that Empire's damage output at this stage, realizing the AM's not going to be there, the Bane wasn't level 6, there's no Fiend script threat. It's just, okay, I go in, I pop Flame Guard, like, it didn't even, the Laguna didn't even break Flame Guard.
It did, it literally did no down. Yeah, it just took down the Flame Guard.
Just realizing very well the limits of their lineup, Vega continuing to pressure here, just going straight to the tier 1 top lane, knowing that this is their timing. And I would actually like to see Silent abusing the lanes a little bit more. Like, he knew that they were 5-manning that tower for a good minute and a half, and he spent most of his time farming the jungle instead of trying to pressure top. I think in these situations, as AM, you have to try to play Ultra Greed. At the very least, push a single lane, because you want Vega to split up. That's the best case scenario for you, is that they have to back to defend their own towers.
And, I mean, at the moment, as you said, he's playing it safer, just sticking in the jungles.
But yeah, this is what he should be doing all the time. Like, just pressuring a lane when he knows that Vega are going to be 5-manning.
And look at this bottom as well. Smoke up from Empire. Solo is on his own, and now with the pings coming out, they're moving in. They found him straight in with the cold snap onto the Night Stalker. Light Strike comes down. He's held in place. He can't even move. The EMP finishes him off. But there's a change, and now moving forward. They're looking for the turning on the Ember Spirit. They found one. Now they're trying to get resolution. The glimpse back is there. Max moving forward as well. They'll bring him back with a vacuum. It's a double kill for no one. So they will be able to find that favorable trade there off the back of Empire's aggression. And all at the same time, Laguna Blade will end up bursting down that Luna. So 2 for 2, and Empire actually finding themselves Well, a pretty big kill, taking down that Luna as he went just a little bit too aggressive.
That's a big kill for them. Not only that, but Silent gets a mid-tier 1. Like, during that time they were fighting, he was able to get himself a tower, so even though it ends up being 3 really quick tier 1s for Vega, we expect that out of their lineup.
Yes.
The fact that Empire are able to at least trade 1 tower in exchange and allow Silent to just continue his farm, I think that's going to be good for them. The big test for Vega is going to be how to breach high ground. With the Luna lineup, it's very easy to be able to get all the outer tier towers because of Lunar Blessing and knowing that you have that early mech going for you. But once you start trying to go high ground, it becomes increasingly difficult because Luna is not really a full-fledged range hero. You know, you're not 600 range. You have to get fairly close and put yourself in harm's way to actually try to break that high ground. So I'm assuming they're going to go for more of a Roshan-oriented strat where they just kill Rosh, asphyxiate Empire by having this full map control with the Night Stalker for a really long time.
Silent's got to be careful where it goes there. There is a Radiant Ward down, so Mag knows that the anti-mage is about. Not too much he can do on his own.
Yeah.
But I do kind of like what Silent's doing here. Did pick up the ring of regen, but instead of finishing off the Vlads, realizing that getting that Manta is just going to save him from so much from the side of Vega. He needs that Manta style ASAP.
You need it for Searing Chains and Crippling Fear. For sure. But they are really looking for Funnick here.
And they might just find it here. They get the dust out. Funnick looking for the Duke around in the trees. They've got the vision there for the glimpse of Funnick straight into the Static Storm. In a lot of trouble. There's the Lucid Beam bringing him down. They'll find the kill on the Nyx Assassin. Empire has turned up in pretty much full force on this bottom lane, just in case Vega were going to look for more, but it looks like Empire don't really want to try and fight without the Nyx.
Yeah, he did.
All right, and that's a big one there for Mag.
He just died to his solo Darkseer.
And we did see him blinking around quite aggressively through these camps at the same time. They'll find themselves something else. Bottom Vega. All right. 3 heroes taken down from the side of Empire in quick succession. And rinse and repeat. They get the push on as soon as it's done, and that's going to be another tier 2 down. So I've got to be honest. Oh, Mag, he might be in trouble here. And well, it pops the mech, but I don't know if that's going to save him. Resolution, has he got the control, the damage, the cold snaps out with the right click, with the urn, they'll be able to get that. So Resolution does pick something up off the back, and a fair bit of gold there for the Invoker. But still, things and the momentum certainly seems to be going the way that Vega would have planned with that drop.
Their lineup was always going to be strong during the mid game. I have to actually credit Empire though, the way their lanes worked out. It didn't get so bad until Empire started trying to be proactive. Like, they were looking for their own fights, trying to create space for Silent. And it just so happened that every time they walked in, it was just a disaster. Like, the first few engagements, Vega just completely rolled over them. When the Ember and the Darkseer are together, it's just way too hard.
This looks very risky for Empire. Yeah, they've got the vision here of Funnick, they've got the ward on the high ground as well. Vega know exactly what's going on, and they'll get the glimpse onto Funnick, bringing him under the ward, and the chains now onto 2. There's just Static Storm, the Canadian field is absolutely beautiful. Trapping the Bane and the Nyx, jumping in with a Remnant. They'll take down one. Funnick, can he get himself out? Have they got any more detection? It doesn't look like they do, so Funnick's actually going to live. Off the back of what looked pretty much imminent death as they hit a perfect combo, but just didn't have the follow-up detection to get the Nyx Assassin as well.
Yeah, I gotta hand it to Vega. They have, even with a couple of small, like, early game skirmishes not going their way, they've managed to pull their lineup together very nicely. Their timing is incredibly strong. They got Roshan. They can go for the last outer tier tower of Empire, and then just with the Night Stalker, once you get that Aghanims and gem going, again, heroes like Nyx, I think Peter mentioned it during the draft, you're not really going to be able to do much. It's really hard to play AM when you have 0 map control against a Night Stalker because you just don't know if they're going to be coming to gank you. So for now, Empire most certainly on the back foot. And as far as their picks go, not really any of these heroes at Empire outside of the Lina and the AM can push out waves. So the other way you can do it, obviously, is just trying to push out waves as soon as they get to the high ground so your tower doesn't take chip damage. But that's why Vega last banned Wyvern, right? His Splinter Blast is a great mechanic for defending high ground.
Oh, hello.
Oh, nice.
All right, we'll take that. I mean,
it's a Manta recipe.
It was indeed.
Better than nothing.
No one was watching the courier. He just sat there as he took 2 hits there from Resolution. So that is obviously going to slow down Pasha a little bit. Now, he was 20 gold away from that ultimate orb, so that would have indeed been the completed Manta. Now Solo caught out by the Tornado. He's fairly tanky. Do they have the damage, the control? Well, with Silent coming in, they should. No, the back in the walls there. They'll still get the Mana Boy down onto the Night Stalkers. They'll find themselves on for Remnant forward. No, gets the chains onto 2. And now with the completed Battle Fury, he's doing too much damage again. The Laguna Blade, it does nothing because the Flame Guard was out. And now they're going to look for more. They'll get the glimpse back. The Blink's already been used. Chains again onto the Anti-Mage. A 3rd kill there for Vega. Excellent control from the side. And Empire just don't know what hit them there. They did get the kill on the Night Stalker, but I don't think it was worth it one little bit, Andy.
Yeah, definitely not worth it. 3 for 1, confirmed, not a good trade. But
not great. Not ideal.
It's really hard for Empire because if you look at Nyx and Bane, these heroes are not really great in 5-man versus 5-man. It's more like we want to try to go for people who are split pushing. We want to try to have like a laning presence with Bane. That's why you pick the hero to win the laning phase. I don't think that Empire had like the most synergistic draft I've ever seen, and I think questioning the AM was fully warranted in this case by the panel. He's just not going to have the time. I think that Vega in their current position, it is quite hard to lose unless you really go too aggressive.
And I've got to be honest, this warding from Vega's just been on point. We've seen what it's done for them around the Roche pit, in the jungle for catching out the AM, and we're talking about catching out. They'll find themselves a leader pick off. Another quick kill for the side of Vega. They'll pop the mech, they'll get the push on. They should be able to take down yet another tier 2. In fact, all the tier 2s now going to be going down 21 minutes in. And I mean, Vega came into this one with a plan, and there's been a few hiccups on the way, but so far the execution's been almost flawless.
Yeah, and breaching the high ground when you have the early Aegis advantage, and Pasha's sitting on 3,600 gold. Like, he could just buy an entire BKB if he wanted to, if this tower goes down.
Back off it, a little bit safe as all the heroes do come back up for the side of Empire.
Yeah, there's no real rush. As long as they stop Silent from killing like a bunch of towers by trying to overcommit to a push in the base.
Or Silent if he gets caught out in. Oh, he'll blink down into the river and TP straight away. Smart move there from the map.
That ward is life-saving, by the way. That ward placed by Empire, that's a very good ward.
And he's got that Manta now. So the anti-mage, he's going to be a little bit more slippery.
Okay, here we go. This is pretty good timing for Empire, having that fighting ability now up online.
Oh, I see. We could see a bit of a clash here. Into the die jungle. No one. He has got himself an Invis rune on this Ember, so that might be the key to turning this one around. And they're actually going to smoke up as well, Vega. And here we go. Nighttime is summoned. Vega are ready for the fight. Who are they going to catch? They've got the vision. Silent blinks away, but there's a tornado with the vacuum wall. Comes out to 4. And now Reminiscing 4 with the Battle Fury as well. That's 1. He's going to more for more. The Goonblade comes out, but he's just not doing anything against this Ember Spirit. The beam will fall down onto the head of Lina. They'll find themselves a second. They'll get themselves a third. Double kill for Mag. And Vega, they were just ready for what Empire just desperately tried to look for there with that smoke from base. And again, these wards, every single time from the side of Vega, they catch out everything that Empire's trying to do.
Yeah, it's been a really rough road for Empire in terms of aggressive potential. Like, every time they try to go for something, it seems like Vega are ready, and they just...
Let's have a look. So here we go. Brought to you by the Score Esports, the replay of this. Where did it all go wrong for the side of Empire?
Well, getting scouted out in the first place, and yeah, about the time you get 4-man back walled and a straight-up follow-up into a steering chains, and they even get the bonus kill on the Glimpse and the Funnick. Like, that was perfect execution from Vega. They knew exactly what they were getting into and just walked away with it flawlessly.
20-6 on the board at the moment. You do still have that anti-mage at the top, but we're seeing just in these fights, he's not able to get himself in the position to really do anything, because Vega, they just jump on them. Oh, okay, this might be a quick pick-off here as, well, we talked about the warding. There wasn't anything there to give him the heads up that Empire were waiting, and oh, Silent. This should be okay. Yeah, it's got that Manta.
Under attack.
I think the Nyx pick in hindsight, like, I understand why Empire wanted to go for it.
Oh, hello, Pasha on his own. Yes, please, no says Aegis. Empire. I mean, this is going to be the kill if they can get it, and they should be able to. He's trying to get out the ult, but hello, the ult from Lina comes through.
That's really big, actually.
And what was he doing there? All on his own, and Empire were totally ready for that one.
That was a really, really good kill. I mean, especially considering 3 people were in the area to get credit for it. The thing with Empire's lineup is, if it gets to a certain stage, the AM will be very hard for Vega to actually kill, but he needs like 1 or 2 extra items on top of what he already has. So he's going back for Vlad's. He'll probably either get BKB or some kind of health item. Maybe just go for like a straight heart just to be able to not die to a Night Stalker and Ember jumping on you. And then once he gets to that point, Vega's lineup actually have a really rough time dealing with Silent. So maybe another 10-15 minutes if Empire can last that long. Potentially he could be like the factor that gets them back into this game. And then also you have Aloha Dance, who is actually finishing up a Yule's right now after that Darkseer kill, which means that you have another way to dispel Flame Guard. You can set up a kill on the Darkseer before he's able to pop mech. Those kind of things matter a lot in these situations, especially when Vega have yet to actually breach high ground. And you also have 1 or 2 more Roshan fights.
Oh, resolution. He's walked into this one. There was the sentry down, and Vega will take that one. And that is your Invoker down for a full minute.
Yeah.
And again, Vega's warning the whole game has been on point. You'd think Empire might have, caught onto that and started to do something about it and not making movements like that, because it doesn't work out. Vega, they might lose Pasha here, though. They've got Funnick there with Silent, and this time, again, I mean, this is just the game of people being out of position entirely, and Pasha All right, I mean, okay, he's going to try. There's a mana void available here. Silent just needs to get the vision, and there we go. Bam! Takes down the Luna. So they do lose the Invoker, but they find themselves the Luna. And, I mean, some kind of key kind of misplacements here from both sides.
This is the kind of game that Empire want to play, though. They do not want Vega sitting together as 5, because in 5 versus 5, it's been shown time and time again that Vega's lineup is just better. They have Disruptor ulti, they have Vac Wall, they have Mech, whereas Empire do not. So their heroes are meant for small skirmishes. Like AM, Nyx, Bane, Invoker, these heroes excel in small-scale fights. So every time that Vega is split and not actually taking advantage of their 5-man potential, Empire just punishing them for it.
There's Funnick, he's looking for more. He's going to find no one. Hasn't really got the follow-up to do anything. Well, they do have a Fiend's Grip. No one. Hiding in the trees. Silent is there, and they're chasing him down. There's another Remnant away. He's desperately trying to escape. There's a Fiend's Grip, and Funny coming through, but the BKB comes down. He can't quite get in range there for the Fiend's Grip. Funny just tries to get himself straight out, but there's a glimpse to cancel it. They'll almost certainly lose the Nyx Assassin here as Mag turns up with the Darks here, and they will. They'll find themselves the kill there. So this time, Empire's over-aggressiveness being punished on the bottom lane.
This is still an okay situation for Empire, though. Like, obviously, losing Funnick isn't the greatest, but if you look at the lanes right now, Empire are pushing all of them out. And when you're pushing the lanes out like this, Vega have to put heroes in other lanes. So again, it's about the split push. It's pulling Vega's lineup apart so that Silent not only has more time, but you can utilize your Nyx. You can get the vision on heroes. You can go for picks, you know. When that Orchid is out, actually it is out on Resolution, and actually he's making his way towards BKB. Might even have it done on the Courier. Okay, so yeah, now Resolution has BKB, which means that when he goes for a solo kill, Vega cannot do anything to him during the duration of a BKB.
I mean, it's pretty much going to be a question of how quickly they can get the BKB done now on Pasha. We've obviously just seen it already come out for the Ember Spirit, but Pasha is still, I mean, it's very close to, in fact, just the 250 got away from the Ogre Club, so that's obviously going to be a huge answer to Resolution's combos.
Empire showing signs of life here. I mean, Vega are still in a pretty good spot. They've got under a 7,500 gold lead right now, like 8,000 experience. For their lineup, I'd say they could probably have more, but there's been a handful of fights spread out across the map that Empire are able to take advantage of just because of the heroes that they've picked. But I still think Vega, the next fight, Roshan, that's going to be the key. Like, whoever gets Roshan, I think, is going to be able to dictate the pace of the game.
Well, I mean, as well, looking at the anti-mage, what does he go next? He's got 3k gold on him.
I think if you want to fight around Roshan, you probably buy BKB, right? Because BKB means that you can blink on whoever you want in the team fight. And if you have a stun on top of that, like a Fiend's Grip or a Nyx stun, you can just pop your Manta, blow them up with a Mana Void, and then you're potentially fighting 4v5. I think BKB gives you the best chance to do that.
Okay, I mean, they're going to go for Roshan here, as you said. This is going to be the big point of contention. Empire? Not really in the neighborhood.
They don't look like they're feeling too confident in fighting it. Maybe they're just saying to themselves, we can just defend high ground instead. Like, fighting it around the Roshan pit when we know that Vega is 5, and our lineup is not really as strong as theirs and on paper, especially with Darkseer and Disruptor, right? Like, in this area, fighting into those AoE ultis is a really scary prospect. So they're just going to give it up. They're going to let Vega get that advantage, but in the meantime, they're pushing out the lanes. They get the off-lane tower as well. So they're not just taking it on the chin. They're still getting some stuff done out on the map, but this is the point where Vega become really scary. Like, their 3 highest net worth heroes, Darkseer, Ember, Luna, all very farmed. BKB and Manta up on Pasha with an Aegis. This is going to be tough to stop.
Yeah, here we go. Straight down the mid and onto the tier 3. It's a nice stun from Funny, but look at the damage that this Nyx Assassin is taking. He's got to get himself out of there, and is starting to melt this tower. They'll throw out the EMP. It's going to catch out solo. Pasha's able to duke it out and back in with the damage. Greaves are popped. There's your fault from Empire, but what can they do to stop this? There's a lot of damage on these boys. Look at the chains out onto Invoker now. Pasha trying to move in, just focusing on the objectives here, trying to take down the tier, well, the barracks at the moment. So let moves forward. They were going to eliminate some of this vision from Empire as he summons the nighttime. Funny gets the stun out, and well, Pasha's got to be a bit careful. Chains holds back Resolution. There's your Laguna. They'll take down the Aegis, but Mag gets the vacuum wall onto 2. BKB has now been used by Resolution. He'll get himself the tornado. Silent moves in. They're looking to try and take the anti-mage, but Silent now ready to fight with his own BKB. They've already managed to find Lina. Can they get more? No one going forward. Looking for Funnick again with a sleight of fist. Not quite enough to take down the Nyx Assassin. But the racks themselves in the mid lane do fall, and Vega find the objective that they were after. Empire do try and put up a fight, but it just wasn't enough, Drasko.
Yeah, I mean, the Aegis, again, that's the difference maker right there.
Oh, they might even lose more. Okay, oh, there's your vacuum. Okay, one's down and now Silent in the Static Storm. He hasn't got his BKB, and he will fall. 76 seconds on the clock here for this anti-mage. And that is extremely painful for the side of Empire. We've seen the push from Vega, and without any anti-mage to worry about, They're just going to move down to the bottom. Funnick coming in, desperately trying to do something here with the help of Resolution, but I don't know if he can. It's just the two of them up against the 4. They'll burst down the Disruptor, but the side of Vega, they just burst down Funnick. He's going to fall. Resolution trying to get back, but he's been crippling fit up. No BKB as it's still on cooldown. Massive kills there for the side of Vega. They'll buy back straight away on both heroes, but the Ember Spirit ready to go. Remnants forward, gets the chains out. Now the Blink 4 from Mag, 3-man vacuum. Resolution's got to get himself back with the Ghost Walk, but they've lost Lina. Lina's down, and no one Remnants forward, looking for more. Funnick's going to fall. That is a dieback on this Nyx Assassin. 4 dead on the side of Empire. It's 30 to 10 on the clock. Resolution trying to do his best with these combos, but he's all alone. They've lost 2 sets of racks now, Empire. And Vega, I think they might have just found the tipping point, and I don't think there's any coming back for Empire now.
Yeah, I mean, we were kind of saying it the whole game, pretty much. I mean, this lineup is just built for 5-man,
Resolution,
right?
he's trying to go. He has got a BKB this time, but no one just moving forward with the right clicks, chasing down Invoker back to his base. He has to Ghost Walk himself out. He is going to have the backup, so maybe they've got one more fight in them. But it's going to be potential without their base here as the racks just fall incredibly fast. Here's the push of Vega. Have they got it in them? The final stand for Empire. The racks are gone. And Resolution, he is as well. Straight away, he tried to go in, but the BKB has already used him now. GG will be called, and Vega take the game. We saw Empire put up a very good fight. They managed to draw it out to 32 minutes. Silence Farm was great. Resolution had the combos, but Vega, they just had the team play, and they had the plan straight from the start.
There were a couple of points in the game where you could easily say that Empire could come back.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of that second Roshan put them extremely far behind. Like, I think if you have buybacks on your heroes, and then Vega come high ground with Aegis, and Empire have buybacks on their cores, then you could potentially fight that, right? Because they got the Aegis on the Luna right away. But then as soon as they pop BKBs after that tornado from Resolution, it's like, okay, we have no follow-up anymore.
Exactly, yeah.
And we need to be able to blink in with our AM and BKB and try to stun somebody to actually go for a kill. But